Angel Reese gets cheered. Not for dropping buckets, not for leadership, but for literally quitting mid-aim like it's some kind of masterclass in how not to inspire kids. Seriously, when did walking away become the new highlight reel? It's like watching a motivational speaker slam the mic down and storm off stage. Yet somehow the crowd applauds. Buckle up, because this story isn't about... Angel Reese is now living in a world where walking away gets more cheers than making a game-winning shot. You'd think she had just dropped 50 points, broke a record, and signed autographs for orphans all in one night. But no, the ovation came from doing the exact opposite. She quit. She literally took her ball and went home. And somehow this is the moment the crowd chose to erupt like confetti cannons had just gone off. Forget practice, forget conditioning, forget hours of drills. All you really need is a dramatic exit and a fan base willing to clap for bad decisions. The wild part is Angel Reese was supposed to be more than this. She was supposed to be the symbol of women's basketball rising, the face of grit, hustle, and swagger. The person kids looked up to when they needed proof that hard work beats excuses. But what are they getting instead? A lesson in if it gets too tough, just leave. Kids aren't watching her for scoring averages anymore. They're learning the art of the mid-game walk-off. Somewhere there's a 7-year-old practicing their angry exit shuffle in front of a mirror because that's what the role model just showed them. Think about how far women's basketball has come. Visibility is growing. Ratings are climbing. People are actually tuning in. That's the most confusing part of this entire saga. Fans applauding like she pulled off some noble act of courage. It's like clapping when a firefighter drops the hose and says, "You know what? The flames are too hot today. I'm going home." You wouldn't cheer that. You wouldn't call it empowering. You'd be asking, what just happened and why are we rewarding it? But in the bizarre upside-down universe of modern sports fandom, walking away gets a standing ovation. And this is where the role model factor gets tricky. Athletes don't get to choose whether they influence kids or not. The second they go viral, the second they get endorsement deals, the second their highlights play on ESPN. They're role models. Whether they like it or not, kids are watching. And when those kids see Angel Reese clapping back at critics one day and storming out of a game the next, they're not learning resilience. They're learning that drama wins. Now I get it. Every athlete has bad days. Everyone hits a breaking point. But the applause, that's where things take a turn. Because when you cheer for quitting, you're sending a message louder than any motivational poster ever could. You're telling kids that it's not about pushing through adversity. It's about knowing when to make a scene so people clap for you. It's not about being a team player. It's about being the main character. This is where sports culture is getting really weird. Forget the scoreboard. Forget the fundamentals. Forget the grind. Just make the headlines and watch the fans cheer like you just cured world hunger. The problem is this doesn't just hurt Angel Reese, it hurts the entire sport because women's basketball is finally in the spotlight. And instead of showcasing resilience, the big story is about someone quitting mid-aim and getting celebrated for it. That's not growth. That's sabotage wrapped in applause. You can't build a sport on highlight reels of walk-offs. You need heroes who stay in the fight, not ones who storm out the second it stops going their way. Those role models are supposed to show kids that no matter how rough it gets, you stay in the fight. You don't have to win every battle, but you show up, you put in the work, you finish what you started. That's the whole point of sports. It teaches life lessons you carry forever. Except now, the lesson kids are getting is quit loudly and people will clap. And let's be honest, this applause wasn't really about bravery. It was about people wanting to feel like they were part of a moment. Fans love to be part of history, even if the history is embarrassing. They'll cheer for anything if it makes them feel like they're in on the drama. And Angel Reese gave them just that. A moment to clap, a story to tell, a controversy to defend. Forget the scoreboard, forget the sport. What matters is the spectacle. But in the long run, that spectacle backfires, the ripple effect. Because when one high-profile player gets applauded for quitting, it sets a tone that echoes through every gym, every practice, every youth league. Suddenly, quitting isn't seen as giving up. It's seen as a statement. It's not weakness. It's empowerment. And you better believe kids pick up on that. And yet, here we are celebrating a meltdown like it's a highlight reel. And look, there are legendary stories of athletes who pushed through way worse. Michael Jordan's flu game, Kobe Bryant playing with a broken finger, Serena Williams battling through injuries and still winning. Even Caitlin Clark has played through relentless pressure and criticism without storming out mid-aim. These athletes built legacies on resilience. Meanwhile, Angel Reese builds hers on reality show theatrics. If quitting mid-aim gets a standing ovation, then what's next? A parade for forgetting your uniform? Fireworks for skipping practice? It's reality TV disguised as sports, and it's addictive. How do you build chemistry when you're not sure if they'll stick around past halftime? That's the kind of move that fractures locker rooms. It plants seeds of resentment. It creates an atmosphere where drama takes priority over team. And while fans cheer in the moment, the reality is that it destroys the trust that actually wins championships. You can't build dynasties on walk-offs. You build dynasties on unity, grind, and loyalty. And right now, Angel Reese is teaching the opposite. Because here's the truth. Real toughness isn't about trash talk or flashy moments. It's not about clapping back online or throwing shade at opponents. Real toughness is about staying in the game when everything in you wants to quit. It's about fighting through frustration. It's about putting the team above your ego. And unfortunately, that's exactly what was missing in her walk-off moment, but the cheering makes it even worse because now it's not just one player making a bad decision. It's a whole culture validating it. Fans are like enablers at this point, handing out applause the way parents hand out candy on Halloween. Except instead of sugar highs, this creates ego highs. And once you get a taste of being celebrated for quitting, why would you ever want to stop? But instead, she's choosing to be known as the walking headline, the drama queen of the court. And no matter how many points she scores later, this walk-off will stick to her legacy like glue. And speaking of legacy, what kind of message does this send to sponsors, to networks, to people who are finally putting money into women's basketball? Or do you stick with athletes who embody resilience and inspire viewers to stick around? This isn't just a bad look for Rhee, it's a bad look for the entire league. At the end of the day, fans need to decide what they actually want. Do they want women's basketball to grow into a respected, professional, inspiring sport? Or do they want it to devolve into a reality show where clapping for chaos becomes the main attraction? Because right now, the applause says one thing loud and clear. They want the drama.